At some point during our lives, we all experience a season of pain, of challenges, of rejection. And that naturally brings the question, God, why am I going through this? Or if God loves me, why is He allowing me to suffer? I know I've asked those questions, and I'm pretty confident that most of you have too. But what I've realized is there is purpose in your pain. But I think we as Christians become so consumed by the thoughts of, God, when will the suffering end? God, why are you punishing me? God, what did I do to deserve this? That we become blinded to the real question we should be asking, which is, God, what are you teaching me through this? Because what's more important than just getting rid of the pain is actually learning and growing from it. See, pain without purpose feels unbearable, but pain with purpose, that changes everything. Here's what really opened my eyes. Romans 8 verse 28 says, God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God. Meaning that if you love God and if you're walking in obedience, everything that happens to you for your good. That doesn't mean whatever's happening to you is good, but you can have peace knowing that it is for your good. Once you understand that God is working for your good, even in the middle of your pain, it gives you encouragement because you stop seeing your struggles as just random. Instead, you recognize that God is shaping you, refining you, and strengthening you through it. See, we have a choice when we go through hardship. We can either learn from it or we can resent God because of it. We can either let it draw us closer to God or we can let it make us bitter. So what we as Christians have to ask ourselves is, how can we make sure we're growing through our pain instead of wasting it? And I think in answering that question, we need to fully understand the purpose of trials and pain in our lives. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why we face trials. The first reason is trials are designed to grow your faith. Untested faith is unreliable faith. Think about it. When life is easy, it's easy to trust God, but real faith is tested in difficulty. So the more your faith is tested, the stronger it becomes, and the stronger your faith becomes, the closer you grow to the Lord. 1 Peter 1 verse 6 says, there is wonderful joy ahead, even though you have to endure many trials for a little while. These trials will show you that your faith is genuine. See, God doesn't allow pain to destroy you. He allows pain to build you. The second reason we face trials is to test your devotion to Christ. Because as we all know, it's easy to say you love God when life is going well. But what about when things get hard? Do you still honor and love Jesus, even when you feel like you're at breaking point? Job in the Bible, he lost everything. He lost his wealth, his health, and even his family. But instead of turning his back on God, he worshipped. He refused to curse God, even when his wife told him so. And that's the kind of devotion trials reveal in us. Another reason God allows trials is to show Himself strong in your life. There are some things only pain can teach us, like dependence on God. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, and this is actually really cool, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. Meaning that when you come to the end of your strength, when you're at your absolute weakest, that's when God steps in and demonstrates His power. You are never too weak for God to use. You are just weak enough for His strength to be made perfect. And I believe that God uses our pain to make us more like Christ. See, Jesus suffered. He was rejected, He was betrayed, and He was beaten. But through His suffering, He accomplished the greatest victory of all, our salvation. And He calls us to follow Him, to become more like Him, which to me is just confirmation that your pain does have a purpose. Then the 5th reason why I believe God allows trials is not just for our benefit, but so that we can actually help others. Have you ever noticed that people who have walked through deep pain are often the most compassionate? There's something powerful about being able to say, I've been there and I know exactly what that feels like. God allows trials in our lives not just for our benefit, but so that we can help others. Someone out there needs to hear your testimony. They need to hear how you made it through, because your story encourages them. And that's exactly why I share my testimony and my story all of the time. And I get thousands of people telling me how much my story has helped and inspired them. So what I once experienced as pain and heartbreak and suffering has led to thousands of people experiencing hope, and joy and freedom and inspiration and healing. And I just think that's the coolest thing, how Jesus uses regular people like me, people like you, to make such a powerful impact. See, your pain does have a purpose. It might not be for your benefit, but it does have a purpose. And I want to end off this video by giving you some peace of mind. If you're in a challenging season of your life and you're struggling to keep your head above water, I want you to rejoice and find peace in your trials, knowing that God is in control of the timing and the intensity of our trials. Nothing catches him off guard. God has a specific purpose for what you're going through. No suffering is wasted. Trials meet specific needs in our lives. Maybe God is teaching you patience, humility, or trust. God knows exactly what we can handle, and his goal isn't to defeat us, it's to develop us. Look, I don't know what you're facing right now, but I do know this: God is not done with you, and your pain does have a purpose. It's not meaningless, it's not random. It's part of God's plan to shape you, to refine you, and use you for something greater. Don't waste your pain by responding the wrong way. Trust God. He knows what he's doing. God hasn't given up on you, so don't give up on him.